Hi, this is Koyeb Ranch. In this video, we shall look at the definition of animal improvement, aims of animal improvement, and methods of animal improvement. Animal improvement refers to ways or methods of developing of farm animals by the farmer to ensure profitability, fast growth rate, resistance to pests and diseases, good feed conversion ratio, or the ability of the animal to convert feed into muscle, and then proliferation or increasing in numbers of farm animals. Secondly, let's look at aims of animal improvement. In view of the mentioned definition, it can be seen that the farmer must have some merits in mind before he can embark on animal improvement. The aim of animal improvement, therefore, is to produce animals that can give large quantity of products in the form of meat, egg, milk, feathers, hair, hide, and skin. Another aim is to produce animal that can give high quality products like yolk size and shell hardness, especially in birds. The third aim is to produce animal with high feed conversion efficiency. And then fourthly, to produce animal with fast and high growth rate. Another aim is also to produce animal which can adapt to climatic or environmental conditions. And finally, to produce animals that are resistant to pests and diseases. Methods or processes of animal improvement. Animal improvement methods and processes are said to before, namely introduction, selection, breeding, and artificial insemination. Let's take a closer look at more details these four methods or processes. Introduction process. This is the process of bringing into the farm or a country high quality breeds of farm animals or livestock with good desirable characteristics from other farm or country. Before a farmer can adopt introduction as a method, he must ensure that the breeds of an animal he is introducing are exotic breeds or possess higher quality or desirable characteristics than the local breeds. This is because 1. Local breeds are usually small in size, slow at maturing, poor producers, but can adapt to local environment and can be resistant to many diseases. 2. Exotic breeds are big in size, early maturing, and then good producers, but may not adapt to local environment and not resistant to many diseases. Advantages to the introduction process or methods are that it enhances greater productivity. Breeds which are not originally present in the country or farm are introduced. It may also lead to absence of pests and diseases in the farm. However, the introduction process may also have its own disadvantages. It may lead to the introduction of new pests and diseases if not properly handled. The new breeds may have problems of adaptation to the new environment. Selection. This is the process of picking animals from a mixed population with breeding values as their parents. The selected animals with the desirable characters or breeding values should be capable of transmitting their genetic attributes to their offspring or babies. Types of selections. We have natural selection. Natural selection is the type of selection in which the animal has ability to withstand weather stress, to survive and reproduce on its own, while those that cannot survive die off. We also have artificial selection. This is the type of selection where man uses his intelligence and influence to select animals with desirable characters and mate them in order to increase animal numbers. See, there are four main types of artificial selection, namely mass selection, family selection, selection based on progeny, and pedigree selection. Mass selection in animal breeding is a straightforward historical method where breeders identify and select individual animals based on their phenotype or observable traits from a large population to be the parents for the next generation. The goal is to increase the prevalence of these beneficial genes, leading to improved population over time. This process involves observing the animal, selecting the best ones, mating them, and repeating the selection in their offspring to enhance desired characteristics like growth rate and production. Family selection is an animal breeding technique where the entire groups of related individuals or families are selected or rejected based on their collective performance. Progeny selection, also known as progeny testing, is a method in animal breeding where breeding stocks or parents are selected based on the performance of their offspring. This technique is valuable for estimating the genetic merits of a parent for qualitative traits, identifying carriers of undesirable recessive genes, and evaluating sex-limited or slaughtered traits where the parent cannot be directly assessed. Pedigree selection is an animal breeding technique that determines an animal's genetic potential based on the recorded performance of its ancestors, such as parents and grandparents. Accurate records of an animal's ancestry are crucial for the success of this method. The advantages to artificial selection are that it ensures that only the best naturally available animals are selected. Selection reduces the spread of pests and diseases. Animals with undesirable characters are detected and rejected. The third process or method in animal improvement, being breeding, is the process by which animals are developed by transferring inherited qualities from parents to their offsprings. There are four types of breeding process, namely inbreeding, line breeding, crossbreeding, and outbreeding. Inbreeding. Inbreeding is the mating of more closely related animals in a population from which they come from. Example, mating of the father and daughter, or son to the mother, or brother to the sister. Line breeding. Line breeding is the mating of related animals which are not closely related, as in the case of inbreeding. For example, mating between cousins. Crossbreeding. Crossbreeding is the breeding of animals from different breeds with desirable characters, which will lead to production of hybrid with hybrid vigor, otherwise known as heterosis. Example, the crossing between Muturu breed of cattle, which is resistant to trypanosomiasis, and the white Fulani breeds, which is susceptible to the disease, to produce a hybrid which combines the good qualities of the two breeds. Outbreeding. Outbreeding is the mating of unrelated animals within the same breed. Outbreeding is just the opposite of inbreeding. It produces high breed vigor and productivity just like crossbreeding. Example, crossbreeding of a white Fulani cattle, but they are not related to each other. However, they are all white Fulani species. The breeding process has its own advantages. It gives rise to hybrid vigor or heterosis. Offspring produced can withstand environmental stress, especially in crossbreeding. It also helps to concentrate and preserve specific desirable characteristics in animals, especially in inbreeding. And finally, the fourth process or methods in animal improvement, being artificial insemination, is the introduction of semen or spermatozoa into the female reproductive tract artificially, other than the natural mating. Here, the semen containing spermatozoa are carefully handled, diluted, and stored in a deep freezer at a temperature of 196 degrees Celsius in a liquid nitrogen until it is required for use. For artificial insemination to succeed, the spermatozoa should be inseminated into the female reproductive tract when she is on heat period. This is because immediately after the heat period, ova or eggs from the ovary will be ovulated to the fallopian tube to go and wait for spermatozoa for possible fertilization or pregnancy. Methods for collecting semen from a bull for artificial insemination include: 1. The use of artificial vagina by massaging, by electroejaculation, by recovering of semen from the vagina after service or mating, and by using a dummy. The advantages of artificial insemination are that it is easier and cheaper to import the semen from exotic breeds than the male animal themselves. It also helps in checking the spread of venereal diseases in animals, as the semen is properly scrutinized before used. The semen of a good bull can still be used long after the death of the bull. It reduces the cost of production since the farmer may keep only female animals and save the money for maintaining feeding of male animals. And the disadvantages are that artificial insemination requires expertise which may not be readily available. Not all farmers have the skill of detecting heat period, which may lead to waste of spermatozoa. Preservation of semen or spermatozoa need power supply, which is always erratic. Animals are deprived the natural feeling in mating. If the semen are not properly screened, it may spread venereal diseases of farm animals, for example, brucellosis or contagious abortions. This is the conclusion of my video. And by the end of this video, you must be able to define animal improvement, the aims of animal improvement, and methods of animal improvement. Thanks for viewing. Bye-bye.